Welcome in, beautiful souls. If you're new here, my name is Jane, and if you're returning, so glad to have you here. So grateful. So today, I believe we're going to have a reading about the Orions and the Orion constellation. I received a few new decks here, so we're gonna, pull some cards out and have some fun with them. So a little bit about the Orion constellation. So it's a really diverse range of galactic families and beings. There's like draconians, there's the grays, there's avians, there's hybrids, there's aquatic star beings, and there's many angelic forces that are helping humanity at this time. And there's also beings called regalians. Now, I don't know a whole lot about them. The little bit that I do know is they originate from this constellation, and they're also known as coloners. They have a lot of technology, and they have a lot of ability. They deal a lot with like robotics. So, like I said, I don't know a whole lot about them, and of course, I'm not really great at technology, so I don't really know a whole lot about that. But anyway, we're just gonna keep going. Those from the constellation that incarnated here on Earth often have traits that are related to the Pleiades and the Sirians. Also, just a quick note, all the chaos that is going on in the world that we are living in today, it's really to trigger these awakenings. Now, it's really to... The awakenings are for all of us to remember and finish any unresolved karma from their Orion history, along with past lives here on Earth. Now, this all affects our entire multi-universe. Now, these awakenings are sending ripples of powerful energy waves across all timelines and billions of species, which, again, it affects the multi-universe. So this reading is like going to be a very small part of this giant constellation. And so really, this is what happened after the polarities of the wars that happened in Orion, because there were like the masculine and the feminine that joined together, and both extremes of female and male aspects need to be experienced in order to integrate both of them. So the feminine was a being that, of course, is very intuitive, emotional, spiritual, and psychic. But they suppressed those so that for the benefit of the whole. Now with the male, like with the masculine, that they're all about self-service, believing individuality was the key. My dog is sleeping and dreaming. So, however, extremes of both aspects can lead to darkness and negativity. And, that's something that we actually are seeing here on this planet. So they also experienced it in Orion, right? Now, so where there were the times where, like in Orion, when there were times of like negative and fear dominating, that is where there was a lot of, they used the technology really to control the mental and emotional and spiritual levels. Does that sound familiar? Now, the negativity grew and many souls wanted to leave Orion, but couldn't because of the negative control over them. The empire that was ruling Orion at the time, like they weren't able to escape. They were enslaved, right? Just basically how we are here on Earth. So having that being said, we can really, they figured out a way though. So they figured out a way. Like these these Orion freedom fighters, okay, I'll get into that in a minute, but so some discovered that there was a portal, interdimensional travel, and that they could escape from the Orion constellation system and from under the slavery so they could be free, right? So these were the freedom fighters. These were the ones that were trying to help awaken the souls that in the beings that were in the constellation of Orion, but they just weren't really getting anywhere. They were trying to fight fire with fire, and it just wasn't working. So they did find an interdimensional travel, and they came to Earth, so they could escape, like I said, and they then entered the Earth reincarnation cycle. The problem is that they had a lot of tragic and trauma from the Orion enslavement. So they brought that in, and when they started incarnating here, that was then part of them, like their DNA. But also, they were also dealing with like the past lives of living as humanoid-ish, I guess, on Earth. So what happened, like that was so buried deep into the depths of the subconscious mind. So this is what the awakening is going on in so many today. And, these beings, are starting to speak out and stand up against the negative systems that are here on Earth. And that's really what the whole point of the awakening was for, you know what I mean? Or is for this in this timeline. So the Orions care deeply for the Earth and every living being and creature that inhabit it. Now, they believe peace is everyone's birthright, and they will go above and beyond to awaken others. Many of these star seeds were, like I said, freedom fighters in the Orion. Oh my goodness, can't even say it. In the constellation. So these star beings tried, like I said, they tried to awaken those that were enslaved, but the freedom fighters, they figured out a different way, because fighting fire with fire was not working, and they were becoming very frustrated, and they knew that they were being defeated trying to do it that way. So they come to realize that if they work through the polarities, and they worked with both of the energies, the light and the dark, integrating them, and then integrating the masculine and the feminine. If they integrated those, and they integrated all these principles within themselves, that they started to notice that they started to shift. And with that shifting, they started finding inner peace. And then after they started finding the inner peace, they started noticing that what they were feeling and finding on the inside started to represent itself on the outside of them. So, basically, so that is really the Christ consciousness that everyone speaks about. Now, Orions could be like activists, entrepreneurs, and also they're always looking to develop their skills and their knowledge. And, they always a lot of them tend to run their own businesses, and they're very self-sufficient souls, and they also make really good bosses, and like they're very logical focused in the early years, and as they age, they become more spiritual. So Orions are very wisdom-seeking type people, or souls, or essences, I guess. They love knowing things, and they have a interest. Their interests are really great, so they could have like a really large amount or multiple projects on the go at the same time. They have a great sense of humor, and they have a lot of joy. And I suppose they probably wouldn't have so much joy going through their ego death, and their when they're transforming all those energies, they probably lose a lot of that joy then, but that joy will return to them. They also find humor in most things, which is really good. So they can kind of laugh a lot of things off. And restoring the balance within us all is really needed at this time, because the love is what's going to free this world from the negative energies that are trying to control it. Well, they have been controlling it for a very long time. Okay, so with that, I'm going to begin the reading. So this new deck here that I have put out, sorry, just trying to put that smoke out a little bit. These are the cards that came out. So we have Astral Origins, and we have the Orions and the Mitokans, and then we have the Hybrid Lightworkers and the Etheric Implants. Whew. So I brought out a few other decks. So this one here, I shuffled and then I cut it, and it says here, Celestial Assistance, Messages, Guidance, Listening. So I'm going to keep this card here. Magical Realms, Belief, Confidence, Co-Create. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit of shuffling here. This one here I also shuffled, and I split it in 3. So I wanted to save those because I thought they were pretty cool, and I decided I was just going to turn on the camera so that you know, the rest could be caught on film, because you know, we always have those naysayers, right? So here we have Dimensions. Yeah, that's the grid of the universe. You know, when they say, like, I know years and years and years ago, they used to, like, scientists and all them, they used to say that it was just, there was nothing out there, that was just a black, you know, a void, basically. But now are admitting that that's not true, and that everything is interconnected. Okay, I'm ready if you are, guys. DNA activation, no kidding. Oh, that's beautiful. So that's what's going on with the awakenings, right? That's why you could be having a lot of weird symptoms. You know, the exhaustion, like you could be getting like headache, you could be getting headaches, you could be getting like, you know, you'll be noticing, like you'll be watching a reading or something, you get goosebumps or get body chills, or, you know, you could be getting like high, you know, like static in your ear. It's almost like a tuning in. Okay, I'm keeping this card out because that's pretty cool. Look, angels, just like I said, there's a lot of angelic beings that are helping. I'm going to keep that up too because I think that's pretty relevant. Let's pull it out a few here. Okay. Illumination, yeah, this is the love. See, this is what's going on too with all the awakening. It's creating more love that is now emanating around the world and outside of this world. And it's putting a ripple within the multi-universes, right? Inspiration, positivity, and joy. Yeah, and it look, oh yeah, look at that. 23 is a 5, so that's 5-5. That's all that change that's coming in. Look, your destiny and your purpose, your passion, your service. This is exactly what's happening, Spirit. The guardians, shielding, defense, warning. Okay. Look at that. Majestic eminence, sacred, divine, feminine worth. Yeah, this is, you know, because the earth has really been, you know, in this negative masculine, because like they said, like if it's either too feminine, it's negative, it's too masculine, it's negative. And fear, like the fear and the negativity comes from that. So having that balance of both, right? I lost that card. I think I was supposed to keep that feminine card. Oh well. Oh. They brought it back out. I hope that was seen on camera. I love that. And then look, the guardians are back on the bottom. Shielding, defense, warning. Look, and transformation. Morph, synchronicity, impulse. Again, more angels, wings here. Another 5, too. Number 41 breaks down to a 5. 5, 5, 5. Okay, how many cards we have here? I think they want these cards here. Let's see. Let me move this aside here. Wow, this is a big spread today. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, they did want these. Yeah, I thought so. So we have 5, 5, 5. That's a lot of change. Okay. I don't know if these are... Oh, oops, sorry. Just kicked the microphone. Okay, just want to make sure that they're all on camera. It's quite the spread, though, isn't it? Only one card facing down. Okay, I'm curious. I want to see what this is. Lemurians and Atlanteans. Yeah, you know, because I was thinking about that too. I'm pretty sure that when these star seeds came from Orion, when they found that portal to come into onto Earth, when they went into that interdimensional portal, they created like these. They took up residence there, and that's what created Atlantis and the Lemurian. Okay, you know, that card too, I'll tell you, every time that I was shuffling and splitting that deck, that card kept coming out, but I kept putting it back in because I didn't think it had anything to do with it, but now I believe that's what they're trying to tell me here. So there's going to be a DNA activation. There's something in this here. They want me to... Etheric implants. I'm curious here to see what that is. Okay, there we go. You have the ability to cleanse and heal yourself at any time. You are probably familiar with having the sensation of something breathing down your neck or feeling in the pit of your stomach. You may also have felt possessed by someone or something, as if they have invaded you and are clinging to you, but without you being able to see them. In shamanic work, humanity's oldest form of healing dated back 30,000 or even 40,000 years. Such energetic phenomena are known as energetic intruders, energy implants, or etheric implants. These negatively balanced energies may be of earthly or even cosmic origin, since everything is interconnected. So-called negative aliens deliberately implant negative thought patterns in many people, manipulating them on a mental level. Just like I was talking about in Orion, that's what they did there. That's how they controlled. Whoever controls the mind also controls both body and soul. These implants are able to thrive because those affected are unaware of them. But as soon as they are detected, they can be dissolved. That's why they brought out the guardian, shielding, defense, and warning. You know, I see a dragon here on the... yeah, that almost looks like it's made out of selenite. Yeah, I see this dragon wrapped around this column. Yeah, thanks, Spirit. These are the angelic beings that are helping humanity. This is very interesting here because I believe that that's what's going on. So the Orion, the beings that have come from this constellation, they are going to definitely be illuminating. See all this light coming off of him? And I noticed that they're using like the tree as a reference here. Ah, you wanted me to get that, didn't you? Ah, hold on. There is a tree deck that I received yesterday in the mail. Let me go get it. I didn't think they wanted me. Oh, I should have listened. Hold on. Let me go grab that. It's called the Tree Magic. Okay. So let me just get that deck out here. I just cleansed it last night. So this is going to be the first reading that we're using. Oh, okay. Oh, no kidding. So the card that was stuck in the box, I just kind of flicked the box a little bit. It's called the Lime Tree. It's happiness. The intoxication of love will be as strong as the scent of the lime tree's flowers. Number 33. Okay, that's going to bring a lot of happiness. Okay, so what else is going on here? Okay, hold on. I'm just trying to read the energy off these cards here. So we're having celestial assistance. Yeah, that's Metatron's cube there. You know, he's the angel that, is he the right hand of God or something like that? Anyway, he is like part of the central sun. Yeah, you know, this looks like Sirius A here in the constellation here. And that looks like the Pleiades, the Pleiades star system. I can't see what else is behind her, but see, well, Orion would be around here somewhere because they're all kind of really close together, right? So there's messages, guidance, listening, inspiration, positivity, and joy. Doing the opposite, you know, it's raising the vibration of the earth. That's why they showed that card. That was, I can't remember what that card was that was in that deck. Let's see if I can pull that. I can't remember what that name was now. Oh, something in my eye. Oh my God. Cleansing external energies. Look at that. That's where I stopped. That's what they're doing. And you know, see these feathers? He kind of reminds me of like a shaman. Well, he doesn't kind of remind me. He actually, I believe he is a shaman. Oh, that's it. The dimensions. There you go, Spirit. Thank you. They just told me to move. Yeah. The dimensions. See how the fabric of how we're all connected is one? They're cleansing these energies. This is freaking awesome. It's about time. It's about time. I mean, I remember being a kid and thinking, oh my God, why are people so gross? You know, why do people treat the animals and the earth the way they do? I used to cry all the time. It used to bother me so much. I hated it so much. Okay. So the guardians are cleansing and they're shielding. But they want to make people aware of these etherical implants. You know why? Is because, you know, the people that, you know, we, you know, had friends and family and stuff, you know, like these people, like, you know, when you're like the scapegoat or you're treated like you're, you know, they purposely leave you out of things, and, you know, like they blame you, and they, you know, try to call you crazy or whatever it is that they do. You know, it's because, you know, of these etherical implants. And I know that they, you know, these people, you know, these members of your family or friends or whatever, they're not even aware that this is even really happening to them. You know, however, we all have free will at the same time. You know what I mean? So they do need to be responsible for their behavior. Okay, they keep drawing me here to the astral origins. Let me see what they want here. This astral origin. Recognize your heritage. Knowledge is the existence of star beings has been part of shamanic wisdom, excuse me, for thousands of years, but is also since the turn of the 21st century that the wider world has begun to accept this. A series of global conferences on extraterrestrial life and its potential consequences for us were held in 2010, from the Royal Society of London and the Global Competitiveness Economic Forum to the Vatican and the Pontifical Academy of Sciences. Everyone is looking for answers about the origins and meanings of life. And you know, I do remember watching this big panel on the news back in, I don't know if it was, I think maybe it was 2010. I thought it was 2009 or 8 or something like that. Anyway, there was like all these government officials, and they sat on this huge long, I think there was like 18 or 19 of them. They were all like scientists. Some of them are from NASA. Some of them, they were from all over the place. They were government, like, you know, those, you know, we'll put in quotations, you know, the Men in Black kind of people that, you know, they say that don't exist. There was, a big panel of them, and the reporters were asking them individual questions, like, you know, trying to like sort out what they were talking about. And they all admitted that they know that there are many races of beings and extraterrestrials that like inhabit the earth today. They walk among us. Some of them live deep in the earth, some of them live in the mountains, some of them have made contact from their vessels, like all kinds of different things, right? So it was pretty amazing. Okay, so let's just keep going here. So angels of Atlantis. And for those of the naysayers that are out there, you know, you'll understand when you leave your vessel, because that's the time when once you leave your vessel, everything will just be like boof into your mind, and your essence will know everything, and you'll know that you were a fool on the earth, unfortunately. That it would come to that. But you know, there's going to be the ones that just, they can't get past the narrative. You know what I'm saying? You know, you can't make people come with you. Like, I know we all try. I know we all stick around with our families and our friends as long as we can, but we can't make them come. It's like, you know, that old saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Whoa. Whoa, okay, look at that. And Uriel, abundance. Okay. So we're going to set this one aside, and then they made sure that there was a tree there too. I will assume that that is the moon. Okay. Oh yeah, they want me to bring out one of these ones too. This is from the Mayan. Yeah, this is Mayans are like one of the most ancient indigenous, I don't know if they're indigenous or, well, yeah, I guess they would have been at that time, but races, let's put it that, or cultures, probably a better word. Okay, what do you want here? I always have them pull them out because what's going on here, Spirit? Are you ready? They don't want to come apart. What's going on? Okay. Okay, they're going to have me split it. This one? Okay. I've never seen this card before, but you know, this also, look, that looks like the moon and behind it. You know, this gives me like that night and day kind of thing. Look in the water, there's water in there. The moon. It's interesting. You know, that's funny too that they're bringing that up because, well, they just kind of give me like a little download about the moon because they say that the moon, let's split on that again. They said the moon is not from our solar system, that after a big galactic war, the Earth was like unstable. It was like doing this like vibrational, like it was like tilting or something. It was just doing this like rocking. And so what happened is when the star seeds come across the planet, they knew it would be habitable, they would be able to inhabit it, and it would be like a refuge for them, but they had to stabilize the Earth. So what they did is they took that moon and they anchored it into our solar system to help stabilize the Earth. Don't shoot the messenger. Okay, so this one here, this is what I thought was cool. So it came out with Stellar Gateway. And that's where, I think that's where, like when they were talking about how they found an interdimensional portal. So they found this Stellar Gateway activation, infinite potential, manifesting vortex. And then Anunnaki light codes, energetic shift, new information, end of a cycle. So I believe that's what's coming in. Like there's the end of it's the end of the reign of the masculine, the heavy masculine. And then here we got Orion activation, which I thought was pretty cool because we got the Orion card here. Orion. I don't know why I keep calling it Orion. That's weird. Supernova. Recreation, renewal, rebirth by light. Yeah, just like I was saying, because you know, that's what I was saying, like the light with the Orion's star seeds and the light workers, because they're creating so much light on the earth and it's reverberating out into the multi-universe, that it's all these awakenings and activations that are happening in the DNA. You know, I see these pyramids too, and pyramids are very much connected to Orion and Sirius and, you know, really a lot of these ancestral lineages, because, you know, you have all the shamans too, right? And on the bottom here, we have the karmic release, healing, the lineage boundaries. Yeah, exactly. Just like I said. You know, I noticed that they're showing the same, what do they call it? Is that called? They call that the helix or something? The DNA. Ugh, I don't remember. Anyway, let's move on. So let's see here. They want one of these trees. Let's see what tree they want. Let's go with the cards. I mean, this is a new deck, so. The tulip tree. The transforming power of time brings flowers and fruits that are a sign of love and happiness. Adaptability. That's beautiful. Okay. This showed me another 5 with magnolia tree. Hope, health, love, and happiness, and the promise of all that springtime brings. Yeah, because you're saying within, This is all going to happen through this year all the way into 2028. Like all these activations, awakenings, like all of this stuff. Okay, so the olive tree. Oh my goodness, and the olive tree, that goes all the way back to Jesus' days. Oh, and then they have the dove. Peace. Yeah, they were talking about like finding that inner peace, right? On reflection, heaven sends a message of wisdom, restored to peace, faith, hope, and love, harmony prevails. Oh, there's two cards. Oh, look, they're stuck together. Oops, what's this? The monkey puzzle tree, a solution. Oh, believing in the impossible and holding tightly to the incredible can change your world. No kidding. That's the solution. Believing in the impossible and holding tightly to the incredible can change your world. A solution. Because they had me put it right on top of the negative implants and the light workers with the Anunnaki codes or Anunnaki codes and the Orion activation. This is very interesting. The ancestral realm, the karmic release, healing, the lineage and boundaries, renewal, rebirth by light. Yeah, they're definitely using the light codes. That's why they've been trying to block the light codes. Because they've been, I don't know if you know that they've been, that's the stuff that they're spraying in the atmosphere, trying to block the sun. And they're saying it's to cool the earth because of the global heating up of the earth while they burn the trees. That actually removes all that carbon and all that, and you know what I mean? That's why the trees are so important, because trees don't, they use the earth to drink like water and stuff, but trees don't literally grow from the earth. They grow like out from, it's a whole thing. You really need to look it up. I don't want to get into it with this reading, but look up how trees are actually, how they grow. And they grow like out like this for a reason, because of the environment. They actually take the elements from the environment and transmute it. That's why they've been trying to destroy the rainforest, and they've been chopping down all the trees and burning like big hectares and stuff like that, and saying that it was that it's like hit by lightning or whatever. Somebody had a barbecue hot dog or some whatever reason that they say. Well, another 33, Pele's summons. That's interesting that there was 2 3 3s on the bottom. Like on this, I don't know which deck it was now. Okay, let's see here. They just showed me another 5 with fire keepers here. Oh my gosh, this is the integration. So the fire keepers, this is like all the different levels of ascension. Going through the fire, going through the dark night of the soul. Yeah, and they realized that fighting fire with fire wasn't working. They had to ascend their souls. They had to spiritually evolve to shift the earth and the energies. Oh, that's weird. So funny. I love this. You know, and this is like, again, another 5. Look at that. Oh, look at that. Look how they did it. So it's 5, 5 with another 5. So 5, 5, and then 23, and then 32. So they're talking about illumination, inspiration, positivity, and joy. And then you have night into day. So this is where they're illuminating. This is transforming. Like this is the, where, you know, it's like integrating the both of them in a gentle way. You know what I mean? Like how the sun, you know, rises or sets, and the moon, you know, comes out to play. You know, what's been in the dark for so long is the intuition. You know, the women have kept the intuition in the dark for so long, and now it's coming out into the light. It's going to be, you know, shining brightly. And then, you know, with the male already here and integrating all that feminine energy, it's going to help balance things out. Oh, look, and it's back on the bottom. Pele summons. Okay, Spirit, what do you want here? Oh, the lessons. Look at that. This is the fabric of the universe. Just like, oh, that card. What was that card? Look, I just can't remember that card again. Look, the dimensions. This is learning all the lessons. This is all that, again, it's all about that integration that they're talking about, your destiny and your purpose, your passion and your service. See, once you learn all the lessons, that's what comes. You find your purpose, your passion, and your service. And that's what the Orions, like, you know, that's what they're all about, because they're freedom fighters, right? They originated as freedom fighters coming to Earth. Oh, what was that that's flying in the air? Oh, look at this. It's going to be a peace offering. Majestic eminence, sacred divine feminine worth, peace offering. Look at all these beautiful doves, and look at this. The releasing. I've never seen this card before. Look at the heart. Oh, and there's like eyes in it. Oh, that's the guardians. And you see all the darkness here and the light that's being the peace offering, the majestic eminence, sacred divine feminine. It's all coming from the heart. It's all that nurturing. Wow. What's this? Garden of Delights. I've never seen this card before either. That is passion fruit here in the bottom. Again, you know, that's the passion that they're talking about. It's where all the elixir is. Once you change all the inside, it will reflect on the outside. Garden of Delights. Okay, what else do you want here? Oh, sorry, Spirit. The fruit of life, look. The fruit of life. Again, you know, I believe that has to do with the feminine, because the feminine is the fruit of life. Well, the carrier of life. But the male is the seed of life. And the two of them need to come together to create the fruit of life. That's very interesting. You know, I noticed too that it also has, like, I know this is like this is the like it's like the representation of the grid, like the flower of life here, right? But they're also showing Metatron's cube here. And you know, without the sun, there is no life. So the male is very important, just as important as the female is. You know, this flower also, this lotus flower also represents not just the fabric of life, but it also represents, you know, pulling yourself up out of the mud, going through all the hardships, learning all the lessons, integrating all the energies, doing that, like integrating all the polarities that need to be, you know, releasing the karmic, doing the healing of the lineage, dealing with the, you know, the tragic and the trauma from being a star seed on another planet and all that, right? Okay, so what else is here? I love my body. My body deserves all my love. Okay, this is a new deck. This is the first reading I've ever used. Well, this one and this, well, actually, yeah. I mean, this is a new deck too. I've used it for a couple private readings, but that's about it. But this one hasn't been used in any reading, nor has the trees. So I found that quite interesting how this card was stuck to this, but it applies to this reading so well because, you know, the monkey represents, you know, humanity in a lot of ways. And it also, the puzzle tree, you know, that's really what goes on. Like when you start going through awakenings, it's like all these puzzle pieces that you need to figure out and piece them all together, right? But then it also represents like there is a solution, that believing in the impossible and holding tightly to the incredible can change your world. Okay, Spirit, is there a card here you want? You notice, I noticed that they have the sun here and the moon on the back of this. They also have that owl, which is all about the intuition, being able to see in the dark. We see these negative energies and what they're doing. These cards are actually quite beautiful. Oh my God. Harmony for all. No kidding. What is this? Oh my God. Oh, I gotta cover up her boober. Hold on, I gotta find something that's gonna cover that up. Oops. I'll just use this heart again. Can't have shown any boobs. Even though we're all adults here, and this is for adults, not for children, but they don't allow it. Okay, so the power of the divine feminine. Oh, they brought that out twice, the divine feminine. It's this one here. And you see how the earth, they're talking a lot about how the male and the female, like they're so important to come together now. The power of the divine feminine. This is Adi Shakti Namo Namo. I don't know what that means. I'm going to get the book out. I'm going to take a look. Recover the universal truth. Add such Jugad such. I don't know. And then this one here. We're going to take this one. Oh my God, look, that looks like the Kundalini. The two snakes. You know, it gives me that helix too. Or I keep calling it a helix. I don't know if that's what it's called. The DNA strand. You know, see, they have that moon here again too. I don't know what the seven levels. The channel of cosmic energy. Okay, I'm going to take that card too because I'm so drawn to it. Okay, underneath that is Ma, which is open up to receiving. Okay. All right, let me see here. Let me move her over here. It's still covering up that boob. Okay. Harmony for all. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Like, this is, oh my God. Standing united against these energies. Okay, let's take a look. The power of the divine feminine. I guess we really know what that's all about, right? I don't even know how these are, they're not numbered. Oh, I don't know how they have these. Oh, there's this one. Okay, let me discover the universal truth. What is this? True in the beginning. True through time. True here and now. Truth always will be. Yeah, because you know what they used to say? They used to teach people that Earth was the center of the universe, and like there was nothing else beyond it, which was the biggest lie ever made to man. Okay, that's how they're doing it. Okay, I want to see. Okay, so the power of the divine feminine. It's about the Kundalini, actually. It has the full mantra, but I'm not saying that. So the translations, I bow to the life energy, to what encompasses both power and energy, to the creative divine energy, to the power of Kundalini, I bow to the power of the divine mother. Like a seed buried in the ground, this mantra bears all possibilities. It bears the promise of life, the creation nestled deep within women's bellies, and as well as the riches of nature at its wildest. It is mystery and magic. It is the extraordinary and unexpected strength of childbirth. It is huddled up, fern, majestically spread out its leaves. Shakti is the divine feminine energy nestled in the base of the lower triangle. Yeah, we already know that. That's what this is. Like, see this triangle that's faced down into the flower? That represents the feminine. The triangle pointing up is the masculine. Okay, so this one here this is all about the truth. Even when most humans believed the earth was immobile and at the center of the universe, she was still in perpetual motion. Using a refracting telescope, Galileo listened to his instincts and, against the opinion of his peers, confirmed the heliocentric model. I kept saying with the helix. That's weird. The earth rotates around the sun. This mantra encourages you to find unconditional truth beyond ever-changing opinions, judgments, and external circumstances. I guess that's all they want. All right, so what's this one? Oh, right, it's in alphabetical order. Oh, look there, I went to it. Harmony for all. May all beings in the world become happy. May peace reign everywhere. Just like I said in my download about the Orions, the freedom fighters, they believe that, peace is a birthright. We sometimes forget to wish our loved ones the best, and yet just picturing them happy and peaceful is instantly comforting. But can we wish the same to the neighbors we meet without knowing them? And to the ones who are annoying us because they make too much noise at night, can we extend our positive intent toward people who don't share our political views or our values? Can you sincerely and genuinely hope that peace and joy will flood the hearts of your enemies or of the former coworkers who abuse their power or the romantic partners that have gone AWOL? Could you wish could you wish peace and harmony upon those whose actions revolt and saddened you? Could you right now wish happiness and peace to the oppressors and the oppressed alike? This mantra concentrates all the unconditional love energy delivered by the Indian spiritual guide Amma, known for her great wisdom and the power of her embraces. Amma turned this mantra into the hymn her disciples need to repeat every day. This card asks you to open yourself to the vibrations of unconditional love. That's this one here. Okay. And not only toward your loved ones, open yourself to imminent reconciliations. If you come across conflict, simply, genuinely, and piously wish that everyone could experience peace and happiness. Imagine a world where everyone does. If everyone were filled with serene, wars would instantly stop. Okay, let me read this too. Okay. Oh, Lordy. Here we go. Should all the girls of the world be fain to join their hands and to form a chain, the round world reach around along the beach and girdle of the main. That's freaking me out, because I was actually, when I saw that, the first thing I thought about was how they did that human chain where everybody linked hands so that they could wrap around the world. I think it was like right after COVID or something. Oh, I shouldn't have said that word. Oops. Yeah. Should all the lads of the world agree, and they would jolly sailors be, the boats they'd man from a span that stretched across the sea. Then thou'd be found that one could dance the world around. Ah, happy chance. Should all folks of the world be fanned to join their hands and form a chain. Okay, so this one here. Oh, it's the very next one. Yeah. The channel cosmic energy. The creator and their creation are one. The essence of this truth is so great that it becomes aware as it fills me with bliss. That's the meaning of this long eek ong era thing here at chant. Okay, this card warns you about another type of hygiene, cleaning, activating, and opening your column of light. No kidding. Taking care of your physical body is essential for good health. However, we are more than physical body. We are energy. When the energy's flow is fluid, it is harmoniously redistributed. And the vortexes, which are the chakras, where it twirls can act as receivers and transmitters by connecting the material world to the invisible. But when unresolved energy accumulates, our main channel is affected. This mantra, usually chanted during the morning practice, does just doesn't just harmonize your energy, it also opens and activates your 7 chakras. It cleans and clears like a plunger unclogging a pipe. Wow. It has been long recommended that Kundalini yoga practitioners should chant it for 2.5 hours every morning. Each year, many people engage in this intense practice for 40 days in a row. This mantra is not simply a series of syllables to be pronounced. It is a metaphoric, energetic experience. It is time to cleanse your nadis, the energetic channels essential for communicating with the cosmos' imminent takeoff to infinity. That is pretty interesting because they're talking about that's what's going to activate your DNA. Doing this chant here. I was right. So when I said that reminded me of the Kundalini, you know, I noticed that they showed this snake here too on this, you know, and they showed me when I was out walking in the woods the other day, they showed me this bright green garden snake. And I had never seen anything so green and vibrant before. And it lifted its head and it like looked at me from both sides of its eyes. It was kind of freaky. And then it's just like, yeah, I'm just going to go over here now. And I'm like, okay, cool. See ya. I'm just so glad the dog didn't get it. It was a really cool experience that I had in the woods the other day, actually, now that I think about it. Because I had these little birds and they had yellow chests and green wings. And they were really, really tiny. They were only about this big. And they came and they like hung out beside me on the tree that I was sitting next to while I was kind of doing a meditation. And when I was leaving, I said goodbye to them and they followed me. One on one side and one on the other. They would just like, I would go so many steps and they would go to the next tree on both sides of me and they were like chirping back and forth. I was like, what is going on? Are you guys trying to give me a message? Like, what are you trying to tell me here? It was pretty cool. Notice how I put that right there too. Well, I got the tinglies on my head when I was like reading these. Woo! I think I got a little activation or something happening there. I don't know. Wigged me out a little. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see what's here in the... This is actually beautiful. I don't even know if I want to bring out any of these cards here. Just a couple, they said. All right. Wouldn't be surprised if they brought out the Empress and the High Priestess or the Empress and the Emperor. That'd be a good laugh, wouldn't it? And the bottom. Oh, the Eight of Wands. This is all this energy coming in fast. And look, it looks like a stellar spaceship. Interstellar spaceship. Okay. Page of Cups. This is love. Magic. Dreamer. Unexpected paths. Oops. You know, see that it's like representing the yin and yang here. There's a black fish and a white fish. Or, yeah, white. I think that's a crab down there. Yeah, that's a crab. Yeah, Cancer's all about the moon, too, and emotions and love. It's beautiful. Oh my God, and underneath that was like the Magician. Look at that. Okay. Let's see what's here. The Fool, new beginning. That's right, Spirit. Taking that leap. The King of Wands. Oh, another green dragon. It's a unicorn dragon. Look at that. It's like a horse. But it also looks like a dragon. Wow. You know, this is that Orion energy too, because the King of Wands is all about being a leader and an entrepreneur and being successful, a visionary, having great ideas. This energy's coming in fast. Mastering everything. Yeah. You know, this gives me using all the energies, like all the different angels, all the horizontal angels. Uriel, Gabriel, Michael, Raphael. See this portal here too. These Orion freedom fighters they're really going to change the world. And with all the light workers, I mean, there's many others. You know, you get the Pleiadians, the Sirians, the Arcturians. I mean, there's many, many others, but there's many. Oops. And Uriel is the earth, represents the earth. So I'm going to read Uriel first, and then this one here. So abundance. Oh, I noticed I put it right out on top of that King of Wands. Oh, let me find the book. Oh, to do that book. Where did I put that book? Oh, that's weird. Oh, there it is. Buried under a deck. So we have Uriel here. What's going on? Wish they would number the cards. It just makes it so much easier for me to find the messages that Spirit wants me to deliver here. Uriel, here we go. Abundance, first one. The Tree of Life. Brings abundant flow into your life at this very moment. And this is why you have singularly chosen Uriel's oracle of abundance. The core of all abundance is the source. When you totally believe in the flow of this divine nectar, the bounty of God is responding in like measure. Develop the muscle of your faith by the positive regard of all your amazing achievements. Fill your life with gratitude for the abundance you are receiving and speak or chant, I am infinitely abundant in spirit. I have plenty of wealth and my riches increase every day. Because what you feel, what you represent, like the piece that you make on the inside becomes on the outside, right? This one here, those have like giant meaning. So I'm going to have to take a minute here to, good grief, I don't know what to do with that book. Oh, there it is. Take a minute here to figure out what they want, because this one isn't numbered either. Hold on, I got to try to find that in this big giant book. This is the wrong book. It'd be taking a long time trying to find that. Okay, this is the book. Okay, let's see. Look at that's the very first one here. Number 46. Page 46. Akbal. Okay, so this is night and house. Conscious dreamer. Just like the king. Abyss, mystery, sanctuary, serenity. Looks within. Place, enclosed darkness. Journey into self, stillness, dream time, dream-filled matrix, and dream exploration. This actually represents the number 3, and they were showing 3 and the 2 different card decks here. Okay, what do you want here? It's the element of water. Okay, so viewpoint into internal and subjective sadness, depression, self-judgment, fear of change. Okay, be willing to examine how you judge and evaluate yourself. Embrace and follow your inner shadow process to learn from their gifts. Oh my God, the harmonic wisdom is called integration. Just like they were talking about this whole thing about integration of the polarities of the male and the female, of the light and the dark. Okay, what else do you want here? This said the meditation here, you can say, I am the darkness that is the light and the stillness that is dancing. Enter the discoverer. Okay, so that's what this means, the discoverer. Entering into the darkness of the womb of self. Sit in stillness there. The internal journey of introspection and integration of the mystery has begun. Free yourself. Well, that's what awakenings are. That's what awakenings are, so that you can integrate these energies. Isn't that interesting that they brought out this card about the integration? That was the whole thing that what the Orions figured out. That's cool. Okay, for yourself to look fully at your present situation from a subjective viewpoint or point of view. Receiving Akbal indicates gifts from going inside to the place of potential where all dreams, ideas, and possibilities exist. Enter into the potency of the Dreamtime Matrix where all things are possible. Learn to utilize this Dreamtime where there is no distinction between then and now, real or imagined, dream or dreamer. All that you are, all that you believe, hope, and the dream creates your personal dream field. In that field, there are no victims to blame or blame. You are now attracting those elements to your field that will create completion and wholeness for you. Become lucid in life. If you choose Akbal, you are being asked to cross the boundaries of your own growth edges. In the stillness within you, potent gifts form in the darkness. Be willing to embrace and follow your process into the void of seeming pain and discomfort, to the place of the mystery. Sense the possible answers and receive the insight being offered as an unconscious reveals itself. Pay attention to your dreams. Potent treasures await you in dream time, where the mystery of enclosing darkness reveals its face. Well, that was interesting. And then it's the magical child here. It says, I am Akbal, enveloping darkness, potent peace, Fenchudi, I don't know, of the abyss, deep silent retreat, sanctuary, the womb of the dream time, the powerful cauldron of possibility where all exists now, dream matrix where reality is created by the conscious dreamers, place of remembrance of the formless, sounding the great mystery of being in form, the stillness that is the dancing. I beckon you to merge with me, to go within, to free your illusions of pain, sadness, judgment, limitation, forgetting. That the gifts of release, the glimmer of light at tunnel's end, might be yours. At the expansive vessel of the essence self, might be raised to your eager lips, and your reunion tenderly celebrated in the sanctuary of my warmth, my darkness, my peace. Oh, wow. That was amazing. Oh my God, I love this reading. This is beautiful. God, you never cease to, amaze me, really, truly. It's been my honor, honestly. And I'm so grateful for all of you guys for being here to help raise the vibration of the world and deal with your pain and your suffering that you've gone through in this world and past lifetimes and past worlds and other dimensions and timelines and all of that. And, you're standing up and you're shining your light and you're just rocking it. So I'm really grateful. And with that, I'm going to close the reading. I'm going to send you all my love and light. And I'm going to bless you all. Have a good day. Bye, everyone.